Let's take a look at the direct mail campaign Podio app that you're about to create in this tutorial, and I'll show you how it works and how easy it can be to actually manage your mailings in Podio. So as you can see, I have no leads currently. I have no campaign set up, and I have one template. You can see there's 3 mailings. In each mailing, mailing has a probate letter assigned to it, and it's sequence number 1, days from start number 1. So if we go to the mailings app, you'll see my 3 mailings that are set up. Each one set up 30 days from the next. And finally, my letters app, which has 3 letters in it to go into each one of my mailings. And in here, you can see the content, which have these special merge fields here, here, and here. Also some custom HTML that you can use, some basic HTML where GlobiFlow allows you to use, so it can style the text in your emails or your letters. So that's the basic setup. I mean, it's 5 apps, 3 apps dedicated to the template, and then you have your leads app and then the campaigns app. It's not much to it. It's all in the setup and how it flows together. So let me import some leads, set up a campaign, and print a letter, and you'll see how easy it is, and hopefully you'll want to continue on and create this for yourself. So this is my Excel lead sheet. There's 88 items. And over here to the right, I have added 3 additional columns to help me set up the campaign when I import this. There's the campaign name, the template that I'm going to use. You saw the probate campaign number 1 that matches this template name right here exactly. And then have the start date. I want to start this campaign on 10/23. So let's now import this. So we go to the Leads app, hit the wrench, Excel import, choose the Excel file. This will be on my desktop, I believe. For name, this is called Parsippany Cleaned. I'll open that. Let it pull in the data from the Excel file. Alright, now we have the Excel file over here, the fields, and the lead fields over on the right, plus the campaign fields that are referenced in the lead field. So we can drag these over: last name, first name, property address, city, state, zip, owner address, owner city, state, zip. Now we want to set the campaign name here. The template will go to the campaign template to use, and the start date will come down here. We have to click on this to open that up, and we'll assign start date to start date. Click next. Agree to this, which is just telling you how important foreign or primary keys are to set up. You'll see where I set that up next. Alright. Now in the leads field, the leads app, we really want to set the primary key to address and city, because there are plenty of times when the address will be identical to one you already have but in a different city. If you import something like that, I think Podio will overwrite the information from the matching address field with the current information from this import file. I think that's how it goes. I haven't tested that out yet. But in any event, let's click on city. And for the campaign app, the name field, which is the default setting, is fine for the key. So now let's import the 88 rows. So it'll throw you back into the Leads app. It'll tell you that currently being imported. When it's done importing, you'll get some messages over here. Now I have a GlobyFlow process that sets the default values for the campaign once it's being created by the import process, and everything has been created. So other messages pop up here, so we're good. Now let's refresh this so we can see the leads. So now there should be 88 of them. Keep scrolling down and keep showing you more. We'll go into one of these leads. You can see there's the information, there's the name, here's the mailing address, and the new campaign that was created. So let's go to the Campaigns app, and you'll see that there is now a campaign created. So it's pretty cool. You import your leads, you have the campaign name set in the import file, and it automatically will create that campaign in the Podio app. So now let's look at the Campaigns app, the item that it created when we imported the leads. So click on that. As you can see, we supplied the name of the campaign template we were using, and the start date. And what the GlobyFlow process did, assign campaign defaults, is it used this value to find the template with the same name and referenced it to this campaign. So now we have the template assigned to it, which then we defines the mailings and the letters that go out and at what interval. And also it set the default for status and print to these values, and set the next mailing date equal to 1 day after the start date, because if we look at the template, the first mailing says that this starts 1 day from the campaign start date. So it reads this value and then adds it to the start date to get the next mailing date. And finally, it sets the sequence number to 1, because all campaigns will start with mailing number 1, and that is what that process does. Now finally, the next step is saying if we want to print this. So to say today is the 24th and we want to print some letters, we would come over here and say print letter. So what this does is it calls the GlobyFlow process this button press, print letters button press, which then will trigger this print letters process. Now what happens in the background is it loops through the mailings, gets the mailing that matches the sequence number, which is letter 1, grabs the content so it can mail merge all the leads, all 88 leads that are associated with this campaign, creates a mail merge file, PDF, and then links it back up to here. Depending on how many leads there are, it takes longer. 88 I've found takes probably 5 minutes maybe. So you can wait here and you'll see this update over here, the activity as it happens. And what also happens is it bumps the next mailing date to 30 days after this date, because the next mailing says 31 days after the start date, and also increments the next sequence number. So when this happens, you'll see I don't want to pause it and wait for it. I want to give you an idea how long it takes. In the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad. I mean, if you have hundreds of them, perhaps you click it. I can leave now and it'll happen in the background, and then when I come back later, it'll work. You can also set your process to send you an email when it's done. So that's it. So here is finished. It's also created a task telling me when the next sequence mailing should be created in 30 days. You can see that the next mailing date is now November 23rd, and the sequence number is 2, and this is the PDF that it created that has all the mail merged letters in it. Now it will show up here, but Podio doesn't refresh or add that automatically. You have to refresh the window, and now you'll see that file here. So let's click on that file. So we have campaign number 1, mailing number 1. Don't worry about that. I was just using that to tell me when the next mailing will come out. So we'll go on. Here's the first letter. Campbell, property in Parsippany, at Dickerson Road. Please call me at this number, and my name. And you can see it's different. It mail merged all the leads into these letters, and there's 88 letters. And now we can take this and print it out, send it to our printer, or whatever you want to do. That's pretty cool, right? And then we can say we're on the 24th. We can click this again, increment the letter to the third mailing, and if we do it again, increment to the third, it'll be done, and then the status will turn to finished, and these will be zeroed out. Now, what gets even more exciting is that we can set up a GlobiFlow process that runs on a nightly basis and checks every campaign that you have in the Campaigns app, checks the next mailing date. If that date matches today's or the date that this process is run, which is a nightly basis, then it kicks off this process that I just clicked, print letter, and automatically does this for you in the background while you're sleeping or doing other more important things. Now you can take that even further and have GlobiFlow and perhaps use Zapier or some other process to automatically push this PDF file to your printer. Say Lob, or say you use a third-party source to print out your letters, or you use just another person to do it. It'll automatically mail merge the letters and send them off that way, and you don't have to do a thing. You can set up notifications that tell you when this is happening, when a mailing is complete, and you just have to pick up the phone when people call, because this is all happening in the background. You don't have to do a thing. That is awesome. So if you have any questions before you get started with the tutorial, which I detailed how to set everything up that you see here step by step, even all the GlobiFlow processes, every app that you see up, all 5 of these apps in order, and I've tried to give you as much explanation as I could. So that's all I have to show you. So get started, and please give me feedback where you see fit.